As it stands, Rodri is currently the front runner of the Ballon d'Or in the power rankings. And that is followed by Vinicius Jr., Jude Bellingham, Carvajal, and Lautaro Martinez. And honestly, a lot of people, particularly Real Madrid fans, are outraged by this. Me? I am not surprised in the slightest. Because if we are being honest with ourselves, there has not been a single front runner for the Ballon d'Or who has been consistent throughout the entire season. Vinicius Jr. was both injured for half the season and struggled to adapt to his new role. He only really started to pick up great form from March onwards, and then he had a disappointing Copa America. Jude Bellingham had a sensational start to the season, but he dropped off around March, and he's had a mediocre Euros with some good moments. Rodri, out of the two, I would say has been more consistent all season. He had a decent UCL campaign, but he obviously disappointed against Real Madrid. And he is the player of the tournament at the Euros. And people need to realise, whether you like it or not, it is an international season and international competitions will carry weight. So it is because of that that I think the Ballon d'Or is extremely tight this season. Because players have had standout moments, but the majority have not been consistent all season, which is why it's very touch and go at the moment. And if we are talking about form alone across the season, then the person who deserves it is actually Carvajal. But he is a defender and he will never win. So for me, I think the big decider is how these players perform at the start of next season. And yes, I am aware it does not technically count towards the Ballon d'Or. But in a race as tight as this, voters will be voting for the best player, not the player who had the best season. So for instance, if Vinicius Jr. starts the season off poorly, voters will have that in the back of their mind when they go to vote. It's unconscious bias. And that will give his competitors a better chance to snag the Ballon d'Or. Similarly, if Rodri underperforms at the beginning of next season and Jude Bellingham, etc. Once again, I understand next season has nothing to do with the Ballon d'Or in theory. However, politics and PR are not meant to have much to do with the Ballon d'Or, and they completely dominate its outcome. This is simply what the Ballon d'Or has become.